Greetings to our viewers, both here at home and around the world. I am Ajuri Ngilale, and you are most welcome to Africa's Future Leaders. On this edition of the program, we bring you the story of an enthusiastic young woman whose life of compassion and effort has changed the lives of so many individuals. This is the story of Stephanie Smart.
What's the update on our upcoming events?
Okay, on the book drive.
Yes, let's start from that.
Okay, the lady that promised some books, she just sent in some.
Auntie Esther?
Yeah, Auntie Esther,
okay.
She just sent in some.
Consultation and strategy begin the day at Smart Sisters Foundation. The successful events and contributions to come emanate from these morning meetings.
And then we've gotten some people dropping some at Inkiru's place.
Okay.
Where the address that we fixed.
I called a colleague of mine, so I'm hoping that since we want to do Nasara, Kaduna and Abuja, that we would reach out through our own contacts. So what we'll do is we'll collaborate with them to ensure that we can reach out to at least 2 or 1 government school.
I wanted to find out the Widows Free Fair. How are we going to get the fundings for it?
I believe we'll do the same thing we've always done for all our projects. Let's follow up on all our benefactors. You know, write them letters. Let's look out for new organizations, new platform, and then let's follow up on the partners that we've been speaking to all this while and see if this is about time that we expanded our collaborations and partnerships. I am extremely grateful for how my mother raised me. If there was one thing my mother always said to us was always be contented in whatever situation. Nothing is intended to be permanent, you know, for some funny reason. Because I remember when we were growing up, I mean, grew up with silver spoon and then the silver spoon turned wooden, you know, and because my father got retrenched from the bank just like that. And so it took a while to having to cope, you know, contrary to the way we're being raised. But thankfully for my mother's values of at every point in time, always be prepared, you know, always do what you can with whatever is available. Never be greedy, you know, poking your eyes into what other people have, you know. And so that made me grow up being someone who was contented, someone who understood that there will be times when it's all laughter, you know, but there are times when there will be tears. You know, there are times when you would have full and then times when you will be empty.
Stephanie's hard-working mother instilled values which enable her to see life through the eyes of another.
I know at a certain point in our life, my mother had to go back to school. You know, this was after she had given birth to 3 of us. And for somebody who was growing up, who always had a maid on standby, we stopped having a maid around that same period. My father got retrenched, my mother had to go back to school. So I had a lot of responsibility being the first. Being the first is, ooh, you know, but you're trained to having to take care of your siblings, you know, your mom does all the cooking and then you have to serve your younger ones doing breakfast, lunch, you know, hoping that mom will come back in the evening and then prepare dinner. I do believe that that financial break, you know, in my family life, you know, had actually helped create some bit of empathy in understanding what people went through and what people are currently going through. To a large extent, I think it also helps, you know, and this is back to values. My mother's always preached being passionate. I mean, I would see my mother talking to every and any, you know, and there are times when maybe we're going out and she wants to greet everybody or she wants to say hello to somebody, she wants to find out how this person's coping, she knows the person's husband, she knows the person's wife, she knows the person's kids, she knows what they're going through. And you almost get tired because you're like, can we go already and come back already, you know? And so having to see her radiate such passion, you know, would also add up to that level of empathy in me. And I confidently will say my mother's values really are a great influence, you know, to who I am today. And especially every other thing, you know, that financial break, my father losing his job at that point. And basically everything really has helped me develop myself as a leader who I am today. I do not believe that you can be a leader and not be passionate about your people. You know, a leader is someone who has to feel passion first. You feel passionate about certain cause. You must first and foremost feel passion for humanity. Humanity is the core of it. Every other thing is just secondary. Humanity is primary. If you don't feel humanity as it is at large, then you can't basically feel a certain level of passion for any cause. So it starts first for me, for humanity, and then for every other thing.
With very little finance, Stephanie put action to her desire by starting a life-changing foundation. She has never looked back since.
Every time people would ask, they would say, what made you start Smart Sisters? I didn't start Smart Sisters because there wasn't food in my tummy. I didn't start Smart Sisters because I was disabled in any way of any sort. I was just at a point in my life where this was around 2009, 2010, 2008, 2009, where I was discontented with life. I didn't want to go through life not leaving some bit of footprint or impact, because I realized that we are very selfish human beings. I don't have clothes, I don't have shoes, I don't have bags. We're always wanting to buy. But we never pause for a moment to actually consider people who can't even buy, you know. So I didn't want to go through life and someday I die and all I've lived was everything I've bought in my closet or everything I have acquired education. And no, I didn't want that to be my life. So I got to the point where I realized that I could actually help. I could impact other people. I could be a reason why other people can wake up in the morning and smile. I could be a platform to create access for people. And so that was the platform on which Smart Sisters Foundation was also built. And to be very honest, Smart Sisters wasn't supposed to be a foundation. Because I wanted to impact, I wanted it to be a platform to impact. And since 2010 to date, it has grown way larger than life, you know, way larger than people wanted so much more, and then it grew from what it was to just being a simple platform to into a foundation where we can do a lot more. And we have programs and things that caters for 3 specific people. We have for young girls, for orphans. For young girls and orphans, we tailor that under the same umbrella, and then for widows. So our main focus, our target audience really are widows, young girls and orphans.
But Stephanie's intent is to implant dignity and purpose to human lives.
We do have what we call the She Needs to Know. She Needs to Know and the Edu Child. Edu Child is educates the child. Now, She Needs to Know and Edu Child are affiliated in lots of ways. The Edu Child is the platform on which we get donors to actually pay school fees and provide books and basic educational items for a child to gain access to education. She Needs to Know is a platform on which every female child understands basic life skills with the main focus on communication, leadership, and public speaking. We do believe that every child has a voice. I don't believe that every girl child should just be a face. No, I believe that every girl child should be a force, irrespective of your situation, irrespective of where you're coming from. So through that platform, She Needs to Know and the Edu Child, we create access to education, and we ensure that every girl child becomes independent, becomes a woman who truly knows her self-worth and can explore and embrace her dreams. We also have the Smart Widows Empowerment Program, where we empower widows, you know, through skill acquisition trainings, and then we start them off on a small scale business. Luckily for us, we always seem to get donors and things who are willing to, you know, part with a bit of money, and so we do a direct link. We never collect money from our donors, so we always do a direct link to every widow who's willing to start a business after she's gone through the skill acquisition training, and then she starts.
Empowering beneficiaries to create their own prosperity, this young leader encourages the contributions of the larger society to the empowerment of the disadvantaged.
Another program of ours is what we call digging into your closets. Digging into your closet is actually what feeds everything that we do. It is, for us, the closet is very symbolic. It could be the market, it could be your bank, it could be anything. What it simply means is we create opportunity for other people to use us, to leverage on our platform to want to help people. So take, for example, we have the free Widows Fair coming up very soon. I think that'll be sometime next month in celebration of the International Widows Day. Part of what we do is we're going to have a completely open platform. It's going to be a fair. You know how you attend fairs and then people buy things. Now it's going to be a fair where these widows, specific widows from specific communities, can come for the fair and basically pick up anything according to their needs for themselves and their dependents. So they don't buy anything, they don't pay for anything. So through digging into your closet, as many people who can dig into their closets can then donate things and then have access. But we're very peculiar with collecting certain things because it is important that as much as it's some hands down, we still want our widows to feel like they are not just a leftover of the society, but they are also full members of the society. And whatever you are entitled to as an individual, they also can be entitled to as individuals of the society and can enjoy humanity to the fullest. So we try as much as possible to ensure it's either new items or items that are of good standard.
After being selected as a Mandela Washington Fellow, Stephanie would learn that passion and right desire is not enough. Something more was needed.
For us at the University of Delaware, we were all under the civic leadership track. It was having to cover a lot more things, take raising funds, fund management. It exposed my mind to certain techniques that I hadn't considered or I hadn't even heard about. And the flexibility of actually exploring a lot more. Coming back to Nigeria and then it meant I needed to go back to the blackboard to completely take a moment to think about a lot of things that we had done and a lot more things where we wanted to go to. We weren't thinking sustainability, we're thinking let's impact. But it gave us a moment to think, pause and think,